Okay, welcome back for the second video on the new Kindle Fire HD that's just out, and we are going to run through looking at the ebook on it. Okay, no matter where you are, look for this ribbon across the top. It moves back and forth. You're always going to want to look for web when you want to get to the browser. Okay, and then any history you have will be here. What we're going to do is basically log into class like you normally would on a computer. You go to our website and then you click login, and then you go ahead and you do your login as normal. So what we're going to do now excuse me, is log in as we normally would. Username and password's already in. And then we're going to click on our class. So as you can tell, this is all looking very familiar, and what we're going to end up doing now is scrolling down just as you would on your computer. Okay, and we're going to zoom in a little just for seeing this. Remember, take your thumbs, press them to the center of the screen, separate them to expand, and put them back together to contract it. So let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so CIS 100A ebook. This works for any course. So a few things will happen, and you'll notice. Now it may ask you if you want to block pop-up or allow. Always allow, and that'll fix the problem. If you get stuck not being able to allow, you look to the icon right here, third from the top, a little square with lines in it. That brings open the settings for your browser. And then you can go down here to pop-up blockers, and you can decide ask, never, or always. I prefer never. You may, when you do this, you may have to go completely back out of your browser and come back in, just as you would with a regular computer. For now, let's just get back to it. So here is your ebook. Now, a couple things to remember. The Kindle Fire just came out, so there is no app yet released by Amazon. There was for the last one, and there is for other devices, but this is just too new to have it. So for now, you're going to be accessing this using the web browser at all times. Again, there's some tips and tricks that we'll show you, but go ahead and click Read Now, and there's a couple tips that I want to show you on how to make this usable. So right off the bat, just give it a few seconds to load. Also depends on internet speed and your connectivity. So a few things to notice, and you'll recognize this from using this on your computer. A lot of the menus are the same. Here you have the three lines, that is your basically table of contents, the search bar, zoom in, zoom out, that's going to be important, and then your go-to pages. So first thing I'm going to do is click the table of contents, and I may have to zoom, as we talked about earlier. Okay, and there you go. So I'm going to click that. It's going to pop up the standard first page. And I'm just going to scroll down and look for, let's just go to one of these chapters here, chapter 6. Then it gives you a range of pages. Section D, page 330. Let's try that one. And let's just go to quick check E. Okay, so here we are. You want to push this back over, just like you do on your computer. You're going to click that arrow, or that X will take it back over. So now here you are. A couple of things to remember. You can read the book straight up and down. It makes it a little more difficult, but doable. I prefer to use it this way. It fits better in the hands. Now, the zoom buttons, you can zoom in yourself. I recommend using the buttons. So when you're zooming in, you're actually, make sure you zoom in on the menu and not so much on the page. So zoom in on the menu a little bit. Give the plus button a click or two, and that'll zoom it in for you where it's readable. This is a good, comfortable size. I'm holding it about 2.5 feet from my face, and the text is very clear. So you can scroll down, you can move it from left to right, you can move it over to the left slightly if you want to get all the picture in here. You can add a note, as you noticed here. And we can just scroll down, take a look at the sections, take a look at the questions, the quick checks, and you can go from there. Now, to essentially get to different pages, you can use the table of contents, you can use the arrows that show up to go back, or of course you can just hit the go-to page numbers. I prefer to use the arrows personally, but it's completely up to you. So again, we're going to try another video. We'll go from there. Also, don't forget that there is a maximize button, as Kyle just pointed out to me over here on the right. You can shrink it or full screen it. Also very handy and helpful when you are trying to zoom in on some pictures and items, but overall very clear. Looking at a few more features over here, there's a find button on the page. But for the most part, this is going to help you out. You're going to be able to use a table of contents, and at some point Kindle will come out with a CourseSmart app and the things will go a little bit smoother. But for now, this should be helpful. Do be patient with it. It is new technology, and it will take some getting used to, and it'll also, I assume they'll do some releases, some software updates, which will make things smooth. So please give us feedback, participate in the basically debugging of this device. We can hopefully recommend some changes to CourseSmart and the various companies that we use to make online education possible. Thank you, and tune in for the next video.